Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to my channel. We are reading Sounder book word by word, NClex RN 9th edition. Here it is, we are preparing NClex RN exam together. So, my previous video was chapter 6, and this is the part 2 of chapter 6 legal liability. A. Laws. Nurses are governed by civil and criminal law in roles as providers of services, employee of institutions, and private citizens. The nurse has a personal and legal obligation to provide a standard of client care expected of a reasonably competent professional nurse. 3. Professional nurses are held responsible liable for harm resulting from their negligent act or their failure to act. Types of laws. Figure 6.1 we are going to see later on. Negligence is very important and malpractice. Box 6.2 we will see this as well. Negligence is conduct that fall below the standard of care. So this is, look here, this is a chart, diagram, source of law, the constitution. Then the constitution, they have mentioned about the legislative branch, statutory law, executive branch, administrative law, judicial branch, common law, and case law. Then here it is types of law applicable to nurses: civil law, criminal law, administrative law. Then here it has two branches, civil and criminal. Civil, what it has, standard of proof is preponderance of the evidence. Preponderance of the evidence. Criminal standard of proof is guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Contract and felony. Look, contrast what it is: nurse-patient relationship, torts, and felony is manslaughter, assault and battery, fraud, nurse practice acts violation. Torts has two branches again. This is misdemeanor, it is from felony. So intentional action is substantially certain to cause and effect fraud. Defamation, assault and battery, false imprisonment, invasion of privacy. Unintentional violation of standard of care, negligence and malpractice. This is figure 6.1, source of law for nursing practice. So here it is, negligence can include act of commission and acts of omission. The nurse who does not meet appropriate standards of care may be held liable. Malpractice is negligence on the part of the nurse. Malpractice is determined if the nurse owed a duty to the client and did not carry out the duty, and the client was injured because the nurse failed to perform the duty. Proof of liability. Duty. At the time of injury, a duty existed between the plaintiff and the defendant. Breach of duty. The defendant breached duty of care of the plaintiff. So 6.2 boxes here. We are going to read examples of negligent acts. Failure to provide a safe environment for the client, failure to follow policies and procedures, failure to respond to or correctly implement new existing orders, medication errors that result in injury to the client, intravenous administration errors such as incorrect flow rates or failure to monitor a flow rate that result in injury to the client. These are the examples of negligent care that is really important for nurses to know. Intravenous admission errors such as incorrect, that I have read about. Failure to monitor for and take action in the event of infiltration, phlebitis, circulatory overload or other complications following IV therapy. Falls that occur as a result of failure in provide safety to the client, failure to use aseptic technique when indicated, failure to provide adequate care that result in altered skin integrity and pressure injuries, failure to check equipment for proper functioning, burns sustained by the client as a result of failure to monitor bath temperature or equipment, or to protect the client from spills of hot liquids or foods. Errors in sponge, instrument, or needle counts in surgical cases, meaning that an item was left in a client, failure to properly delegate and supervise, failure to educate, monitor a client's condition, failure to report changes in the client condition, failure to give a report or giving an incomplete report to the oncoming shift personnel, failure to convey discharge instructions to the client, that family or provide who are assuming responsibility for the client. So this is, I have read about examples of negligent acts. 6.2, proximate cause. The breach of the duty was a legal cause of injury to the client. Damage or injury the plaintiff, I have read, I'm sorry, I have pronounced wrongly. This is plaintiff experience injury or damages or both and can be compensated by law. Then it is a red bullet point. The nurse must meet appropriate standards of care when delivering care to the client, otherwise the nurse would be held liable if the client is harmed. So professional liability insurance. Again, pyramid point is here. Nurses needs their own liability insurance for protection against malpractice lawsuits. Having their own insurance provide nurses protection as individual. This allows the nurse to have an attorney present if necessary who has only the nurse's interest in mind. Good Samaritan law. So state legislations pass Good Samaritan laws, which may vary from state to state. These laws encourage healthcare professionals to assist in emergency situations and limit liability and offer legal immunity for person helping. Again, in an emergency, provided that they give reasonable care. Immunity from suit applies only when all conditions of state law are met, such as that the healthcare provider receive no compensation for the care provided and the care given is not intentionally negligent. Controlled substance. The nurse should adhere to facility policies and procedures concerning administration of controlled substances which are governed by federal and state laws. Controlled substances must be kept locked securely and only authorized personnel should have access to them. Controlled substance must be properly signed out for administration and a correct inventory must be maintained. So this we were reading about legal liabilities. So I guess you guys understand what it is, controlled substance. We have called it's a dangerous drugs, DDA in some countries. In some countries they have called narcotic drugs. They call controlled substance, and we have to do entry and kept in lock as it's mentioned here. So these were the legal liability. We were reading chapter number 6, professional standards in nursing. You need 2 professional standards in nursing, but this is a chapter number 6 and we are reading ethical and legal issues. And in this topic I have read about legal liability. Hopefully this short video and legal liability, you should understand about it, laws and negligence and malpractice I have read about. Hopefully guys you could understand this all. Only just listen, watch, it will helpful for you when you are going to practice your test. It will be helpful. You will remember these words and you will remember what it is legal liabilities and malpractice and negligences. So hope you guys understand this all short video. We will meet in the next video, part number 3 of chapter number 6. Bye for now.